makes that sliding dropkick really put Jared Dine outside the ring.
Oh, yeah. There's a little dancing.
Hey,
There's a little dancing.
he kills a little. Pull your pants up.
Come on.
Pull your pants up.
That's absurd.
His partner had a better worm, I'll tell you that.
Revolution, 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 revolution. Another slap in the face. I know this time of the year is a revolution. But still I roll out of place. Open your mind to the change of evolution. Another slap in the face. I know this time of the year is a revolution. Still I roll out of place. Open your mind to the change of evolution. Right, yeah.
We move to the second fucking pay-per-view. Oh, this was from, I believe it said February 24th, 2002. So about 4 or 5 months after the first one. This was World Wrestling All-Stars, The Revolution. This was fucking terrible. Oh, and especially towards the end of this, it got so fucking boring too. It got so goddamn boring. Fucking Austin was just so done with this show. From the just get-go of this, Austin was just so fucking done. So fucking, are you ready to talk about Revolution, Austin? Austin? Hello? What the fuck? Austin?
Can you hear me?
Now I can. What the fuck happened?
I don't know what fucking happened. I was screaming because I was like, hey, let me fucking goddamn fucking tell you I was so fucking done with this show at first. Damn it.
I couldn't hear you at all. It was just dead silence.
Well, you can hear me fucking now. So, you know. So, start this show. If you remember, fucking last show, we had fucking bigot Jerry Lawler. I want to go back. So goddamn bad. Because now we have fucking fat, fucking Peter Griffin looking ass Mark Madden.
The Peter Griffin.
Motherfucker's built like the Kool-Aid Man in his goddamn red shirt. Oh yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah, so the reason, well, I don't know the reason why Mark Madden was here, but the reason Jerry Lawler wasn't here anymore is because I believe at this time he had returned to the WWF. So
I would have taken anybody. I would have taken anybody else. Tony Schiavone. I would have taken fucking anybody else, bro. Anybody else.
It's like why Mark Madden? Why did Jeremy Borash choose Mark Madden of anybody?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
Because Jeremy Borash is fucking stupid.
So
maybe that's why.
We haven't seen jolly old Mark Madden since the last time we did WCW 2000. So it's been a while.
See, here's the thing. With WCW 2000, I could prepare. I could prepare to hear his fucking bullshit. Alright? Devon will tell you, as soon as Mark Madden came on screen and we heard him, I fucking said, nope, I'm muting, I'm taking a break.
Yeah, Austin legit left for like 3 minutes. And so the show started off just completely fucking randomly. Actually, before that, they started off with this random fucking band doing a live performance. They were in I forgot to say, they were in Las Vegas, by the way. They were at the Aladdin Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. They said that multiple times. The arena was smaller than the first show. And fucking the setup was like, it was kind of like it kind of looked like an auditorium. That's kind of how like the setup was, because you had the stage, and then in front of the stage was like all the seats. It was like a really weird stage fucking setup. I don't know why.
I don't fucking know, bro.
And
I couldn't goddamn tell you.
By the way, the logo for Revolution looks fucking atrocious. But so it starts off with this fucking.
It fit the show.
It starts off with this fucking band doing a live performance. I don't know. They never said who this band was. The song was so trash. It was just like all these fucking long-haired rocker-looking dudes just going fucking, yeah, revolution, revolution. Like, there's just no explanation, and they don't even play a full song. They just go, yeah, revolution, revolution, and then fucking, then that was just it. Like, what the fuck?
It was terrible. It was absolute dog shit.
And then after that is when we get introduced to Mr. Mark Madden, and then we fucking. So we start off with this. They called it a cruiserweight survival match, is what this was called. And what it was is it had 6 cruiserweights, and it was a elimination match, but only 2 people could be in the ring at one time, and they had to make tags to the other opponents, which was really fucking stupid and made no fucking sense. So the competitors in this match fucking are they were fucking, you'll recognize most of them from fucking TNA, but they were Shark Boy, Tony Mamaluke from ECW, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Low Key, and Nova, who's from ECW. And safe to say, this match fucking sucked. And
it sucked massive dick, yeah.
Shark Boy was the first one eliminated, then Tony Mamaluke, then fucking Low Key, and then we're getting down to the last 3 of AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, and fucking Nova. And fucking Jeremy Borash and Mark Madden are commentating, and AJ Styles hits the Styles Clash, and Jeremy Borash is like, oh, I don't know what that move is, but it looked dangerous. And fucking Mark Madden was like, oh, I think that was called the Styles Clash. And Austin fucking screamed. He was like, bro, you don't even know your fucking moves. Oh my god. So then Christopher Daniels ended up getting eliminated, and then it was down the final 2, AJ Styles and Nova. and some fucking how Nova won this fucking match. This match had no point at all. The winner didn't receive anything. The rules of the match were stupid. I don't know why they had to make tags, because they all ended up just brawling around the ring anyway, so the tags made utterly zero fucking sense to even have that implemented in the match. And then you got these two buffoons on commentary who don't even know half of these fucking moves, and it's like, bro, why the fuck, like, Jeremy Borash, why are you booking a wrestling promotion where you don't even get half the talent's name right, you don't know any of the fucking moves, and you're fucking booking this shit? Like, I don't understand.
I don't fucking know, bro.
And then Mark Madden, you would think Mark Madden would know some moves for how long he was commentating for WCW, but he was fucking not knowing shit either. Like, So, yeah, Nova wins that fucking terrible fucking opening match. It was funny too, because when Shark Boy got eliminated, fucking Austin was like, he was like, oh, thank God that's over. And then the fucking commentators were like, oh, Shark Boy's been eliminated. And Austin was like, it's an elimination?
Because they didn't make it fucking clear.
Nope,
they didn't make it clear at all.
Nope, they didn't say nothing about the match until it was almost over. And
They didn't
like,
get entrances.
No, they didn't. They all got jobber entrances. And then the whole time, fucking, they kept talking about, oh, WWA has, we're showcasing our cruiserweights. We have the best cruiserweights. And there were several times on this show where fucking Mark Madden and Jeremy Borash were taking shots at WWF and other wrestling promotions, saying that they're afraid to book their cruiserweight wrestlers and that they don't know how to use their cruiserweight division.
It's funny how they say that. It's funny how they say that. With the time that they put into the fucking plankettes, they could have used to give those fucking cruiserweights entrances.
Mm-hmm.
But no, we had to get the non-existent ass shaking. That was the plankettes. Go fuck yourselves, dude.
Well, fucking, so after that, we fucking got this, part where fucking Jeremy Borash was saying, oh, he legit said, oh, I have no idea what's going on tonight, which is a fucking lie because he's the booker. And then he was like, but I know we do have some matches tonight, and they announce one match, which we'll get to later, and then fucking, he also references that, oh, Big Papa Pump is here tonight. And fucking, then Mark Madden starts talking about how no one can beat Big Papa Pump, the big bad booty daddy, and all this shit. And fucking, then we see fucking, we see Bret Hart come up on the Titantron. Not just Bret Hart, though. This very, very... We see, like, clips of him from the last pay-per-view, but we see this very, very cursed PNG of Bret Hart. I put it in the thumbnail. It's, like, Bret Hart, like, grabbing a fanny pack that he's wearing, and it's this really just cursed-looking image of him, and you could tell that they took this image, like, right before he came out, too, because he was wearing the same fucking outfit. It was so stupid. And then Bret Hart took forever to fucking come out. I don't know. They were having this problem several fucking times on this show where they'd be like, oh, this person's coming out. And their music would play for a solid 2 minutes and they wouldn't come out. And then Jeremy Borash would be like, oh, I thought they were coming out. I guess not. Literally, that's what he said on one of the fucking times. He was like, oh, I guess not. And then, we'll get to that later. So, Bret Hart finally makes his way out there. Fucking, he turns out he didn't walk out. Fucking, but I'm pretty sure this is his last fucking time as commissioner. I'm pretty sure. But, fucking, so Bret comes out. He just looks like You know, at least last time he wore like the hat, he wore the jacket, he looked like he was excited to be in front of the crowd. This time he just looked just depressed, and he just wore a t-shirt and jeans and just looked
Not,
like he didn't care.
and not to mention, even more than they didn't care, like legitimately, his promo sounded like he was making it up on the fucking spot.
Yeah.
So
Because he said, and I quote, fucking this. He said, "The space cowboy Randy Savage was supposed to be there tonight, but he's not going to be there." And the crowd started booing. And Bret Hart says, "But don't worry, because someone else is going to be in the main event tonight against Jeff Jarrett for the WWA World Championship." And he said, "I want to give a title shot to someone who's been making a name for themselves around here and paying their dues." And I shit you not, he says, Brian Christopher, which, if you don't know, is Grandmaster Sexay of Too Cool, aka Jerry Lawler's son. Fucking Bret Hart is giving Brian Christopher a world title shot against Jeff Jarrett. And I shit you not, as soon as Bret Hart makes that announcement that it's not going to be Randy Savage and it's going to be Brian Christopher, a good portion of the crowd got up and fucking walked the fuck out of the arena. People started walking out.
yeah,
I'm assuming because they were probably advertising Randy Savage to be there. That's probably why those people showed up. And then they were probably just like, I don't want to fucking watch Grandmaster Sexay in a world title match. That, or they probably said, who the fuck is Brian Christopher? Oh my god.
and then Brett was trying to save it by talking about 9/11. I shit you not.
Yes, he was.
And he kept talking about like, yeah, I know it was a tough time in America a couple months ago, and he kept saying by the way, he was stumbling, and he was like, but we really need to find that Osama bin Laden.
Yeah,
He wasn't
like,
just saying he
What-
wasn't saying Laden, he was saying Laden.
yeah,
Osama bin
what is up with
Laden.
Bret Hart and 9/11? Because on fucking the Inception, if you remember his fucking opening promo, he was talking about fucking I was stuck in Australia and I couldn't fly home during 9/11, and he was talking about the 9/11 attacks there, and now he's talking about 9/11 here again. What is with? And this time he was talking about how he wants someone to find and kill that dang Osama bin Laden, as he said. Like,
He legit said, like, he was like, I consider myself American, even though he's Canadian. I can consider myself North American, and we need to go and gather up the troops and grab that dang Osama bin Laden.
yeah, it
I
made
don't know
no
what the
sense.
fuck.
Like, motherfucker comes out, he ruins these people's night by saying, "Oh, the big fucking star you're all here to see just decided, I'm not showing up, so we're gonna give the world title shot to fucking a goddamn someone who was popular as a fucking tag team wrestler in WWF with a dance scene gimmick, and it so happens to be Jerry Lawler's son." And not only that, then the crowd, who's already mad, they start walking out and they're booing, and Bret Hart decides, oh, well, if they're gonna boo, let me play the fucking USA sympathy card and start talking about the 9/11 terrorist attacks and talking about how, I'm a Canadian and I said things in the past about how I hate the USA, but my mother is American, and I just gotta say, let's all team him up to go find that Osama bin Laden. Like, what is this promo? Like,
I don't know.
I don't know if, like, he planned to say this, or if the reaction to him saying Randy Savage wasn't going to be there was so bad that he said, fuck, I have to save this somehow, and just fucking was like, fucking that damn Osama bin Laden, am I right? Like, what the fuck, dude?
I don't know. It seemed like it was so unscripted, and that's what scares
Yeah,
me.
because he kept saying,
bro.
like he was trying to figure out what the fuck to do.
I just, oh man, bro, just, oh my god.
Like, it got to the point where he was talking about Brian Christopher getting the world title shot, and people in the crowd were saying that they would there was people in the crowd that said they would rather see Bret Hart face Jeff Jarrett, and Bret said, I'm sorry, it's not gonna be me, and they started booing again. And then he had to start talking about Osama bin Laden, and like the crowd just looked so confused, and I don't know if Brett thought that that this was gonna get the crowd on his side. I don't know, but fucking like
I don't know how that would get the crowd on his side.
I don't know
Bro,
either.
how?
I mean, like, was his
Like-
thought process, oh, fucking 9/11 happened, 5 months ago. It's still a fresh topic, or fucking maybe he thought, oh, when we were in Australia, I talked about 9/11 and I got cheered. I don't know what the fuck his thought process was. He looked like he didn't care to begin with. Fucking.
That's like if John Cena went to the UK and he was talking about how, oh, well, Roman Reigns isn't going to be here tonight. I know you all paid to see him and all this shit, but he's not going to be here tonight. But you know what? We're going to have Cody face Kurt Hawkins, all right? And then when people start leaving, he just goes, "Oh, well, about that Boston bombing." Like, I don't know what the fuck, like.
Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know, like, like, that'd be like how you said, if fucking goddamn Triple H came out and said, well, it was supposed to be Cody versus Roman at Mania, but Roman's not gonna be there, so we're gonna give the fucking title opportunity to fucking goddamn fucking Ivar, and fucking then the crowd starts walking out, and fucking Triple H is just like, it's just like, so that fucking Vince McMahon, right? Am I right?
Oh,
Like, to try to get
God,
people on the
Jesus.
side, or like, it's like, well, I guess it would depend on what, like, if they're in fucking America and Triple H is just like, it's just like, that damn fucking Al Qaeda, am I right, or some shit,
Oh no.
or fucking that ISIS, am I right? You guys, we need to take our troops and get that darn fucking Adolf Hitler or some shit to try to fucking save the segment. Like, when he was saying this, the crowd didn't know what to fucking do. The commentators weren't saying anything, and it was just this moment of just pure, like, confusion of, like, Brett trying to save this segment and just nobody fucking understanding why he was saying what he was saying. And then after Bret Hart was talking about Osama bin Laden, I'm not even joking, after he says, oh, that dang Osama bin Laden, he kept saying it, and fucking, then he just said, like, right after he was done talking about that, he just said, but anyway, that's all I gotta say, and he just walked out.
That's it.
It's just like, what? Just left everybody fucking speechless. Like, the most ridiculous promo I've ever seen. And that's the worst Bret Hart promo I've ever seen. And I'm pretty sure this is his last
worst I've
appearance.
seen, too.
That was his only appearance on this fucking pay-per-view, and probably his last in this company, I think. So, yeah, fucking, there's that. Then we fucking, oh my god. Then we get this shot of this fucking limo arriving, and like 10 fucking women get out of this goddamn limo, and then fucking Scott Steiner gets out of the limo, and they're like, oh, Big Papa Pump is here, and all this shit. And I'm like, where's Madeja? Because literally,
Nowhere.
on the inception, Jeremy Borash got a letter from Madeja that said that her and Scott Steiner were coming. Scott Steiner is here. Where's Madeja? She's the one that wrote the fucking letter, and she's not even here. Did she just decide not to fucking go to this company? Like, I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't think we ever see Madeja again. Dude.
There's probably a good bit of people that were on the first pay-per-view that we're never going to see again. So,
Probably not.
and there's people on this show we're never going to see again, like fucking Bret Hart. So, after that, what was the fucking next match? Oh, yeah, it was the, oh my god. So, before fucking, wait, was it before that? Yeah. So, fucking wait, no, it wasn't. It was, I think it was after this that happened. So we get this fucking backstage promo with somebody called the Funkster.
Yes.
So, if you are wondering, what is the Funkster? Or Alan Funk, as they also called him. So, if you guys remember, if you watched our WCW reviews, you'll remember somebody we talked about named Kwee-Wee. And, well, what happened to Kwee-Wee after WCW? Well, we had thought that he went to TNA, but lo and behold, he made a pit stop in World Wrestling All-Stars. And basically, his gimmick was called the Funkster, and his gimmick was pretty much that he was Hulk Hogan. That was his whole gimmick, except he dresses up in fucking purple and orange instead of red and yellow. Like, and fucking, he acts exactly like Hulk Hogan, everything, and so he's having a match with fucking Reno. And if you remember Reno, he was a member of the Natural Born Thrillers. So
Reno's goaded on this channel. No,
yeah,
he's not.
so
He's terrible.
So Reno comes out, and then the Funkster comes out, and the Funkster actually got a big pop. I'm gonna be honest here, Austin. I don't know if the Funkster was over because he was the Funkster, or if he was over because these fucking people at this goddamn casino were so fucking drunk and fucking angry that they weren't gonna see Macho Man, that they thought that this was actually fucking Hulk Hogan. I don't know. But regardless, he probably got the biggest reaction of the night.
Yeah, deadass.
And so we get this match between Reno and the Funkster, and for all things considered, it was actually a pretty decent match.
Yeah.
It was honestly probably the best match on the show. That's sad. Someone whose gimmick is impersonating Hulk Hogan facing Reno is match of the night.
See, Devon always told me, like, what the fuck was Kwee-Wee, and Kwee-Wee was terrible. You know, I never slept on Kwee-Wee. I never slept on him, alright? I told you he had potential. And what did you say? No, you said no. Kwee is a dumb gimmick.
Well, I didn't fucking know that he did a gimmick fucking where he was just Hulk Hogan, and you didn't know that either.
Hey, but at least I didn't sleep on him.
Fucking. So the match was pretty decent, like I said, and the Funkster was fucking over, and instead of hulking up, they called it funking up, and Mark Madden kept like saying shit about like, oh, he reminds me of somebody, but I can't put my finger on it. I think I've seen somebody, act like that before, but I don't know who it is. And the Funkster seems to take a lot of inspiration from another wrestler that I know, but I can't remember his name. I don't know why they were like afraid. See, the thing is, like, they weren't afraid to name drop WWF or WCW, but God forbid they name drop Hulk Hogan. Did they think Hulk Hogan was gonna like sue them or something?
I think Hulk Hogan's pretty petty. I wouldn't be surprised.
Fucking, like, even if they didn't name drop Hulk Hogan, wouldn't you think Hulk Hogan would sue over somebody straight up ripping him off? Like, to a fucking T. Like, it's not even like oh, it's a coincidence that the Funkster is kind of like Hulk Hogan. No, he fucking said, "Let me tell you something, brother." Doing the flexing, the goddamn leg drop, the same taunts, everything.
Hey, I
For
don't
Christ's
think
sake,
Kwee knew much about Hulk Hogan.
Kwee grew his hair out just to cut the Hulk Hogan hairline into his own hair, and he grew the Hogan mustache as well.
I don't think... See, this could be a completely original gimmick. I don't think Kwee would have known.
that... Or if he legitimately didn't know, then it must have been fucking Jeremy Borash's idea. Because fucking, like, there's no way, man. But fucking, he doesn't just do Hulk Hogan's moves. I'm not saying he does his whole moveset, but because he was doing shit like sunset flips and all this shit that Hulk Hogan would never fucking do in 1,000 years. And so fucking basically Reno's fucking finisher is the Crossroads for some reason.
Oh, but he called it the roll the dice or what the fuck ever.
The roll the dice. That's so fucking stupid. But fucking the Funkster wins because he hits the fucking leg drop on fucking Reno, and the Funkster fucking wins. And that's about all we've seen of the fucking Funkster. And from what I remember, this isn't the last time we're gonna see the Funkster. So, yeah.
Good, he could put on more bangers.
Yeah. So, speaking of bangers, Disco Inferno comes out, and he's mad that Brian Christopher is getting the world title match because he was supposed to be facing Jeff Jarrett for the world title, apparently. Don't know how that was going to happen, but fucking... So he says he's issuing an open challenge to anyone who's man enough to face him, and then he's like, until somebody accepts my challenge, I'm just going to join the commentary team. And, well, as soon as he joined the commentary team, he started getting in a full-blown argument with Mark Madden and just started roasting the fuck out of Mark Madden. And Austin was loving it.
Yeah, because he was saying he was doing what I want to do, man. I want to do more. I want to do what somebody else did on this show to Mark Madden.
So fucking Disco Inferno is on commentary, and they're talking about like what's gonna happen next, and then all of a sudden these two fucking midgets start brawling on the stage. And last time I mentioned how they implemented midget wrestling. Well, this was the beginning of it. So these two midgets were fucking Teo, which is spelled Teo, Teo the dwarf, and Puppet the psycho dwarf. Is that what, that's what, right?
Yep. Yep.
Puppet the psycho dwarf. And from what Austin tells me, Puppet the psycho dwarf was also in TNA because he pulled a fucking gun on somebody. So there's that.
On Jeff Jarrett.
Yep. So and both Puppet and Teo wrestled for this promotion on fucking Spike TV. It was called Micro Brawlers or something like that. So, but yeah, so they're fighting each other, and the commentators are just like, "Oh, what's going on here?" Right, right. And this is how you can tell. I don't know if you paid attention to this, but I paid attention to this because I listened to what this motherfucker was saying, and this is how I can tell that it was Jeremy Borash that fucking wanted to do this shit. I could tell because if you heard the way he was talking when these fucking midgets were brawling down the stage, he said, "Oh, look at this. They're midgets. This is midget wrestling. These are two midgets fighting each other. I can't believe it's two midgets. Oh, look at these midgets." And I'm like, bro, like, you could tell, like, because he was trying, the way it was coming off is like he wanted people to, like, it seemed like he wanted people to want to see this as bad as he did. That's how it came off. And so they start fucking brawling with each other, and then it turns into a fucking hardcore match just out of nowhere. So we get this fucking midget wrestling match between Puppet and Teo, and you know, you might be saying, "Oh, Devon, was it a good match? Was it a bad match?" I don't know what the fuck this was. And I don't know if it was good or bad.
I will say that.
We couldn't fucking pay attention the whole goddamn time because for some reason Disco Inferno and Mark Madden were saying some of the most fucked up, unimaginable things that you could ever say to fucking dwarves that you could think of.
Yeah.
Like, you thought what Jerry Lawler was saying about women was bad. Oh my god, what Mark Madden was saying about dwarfs. He said that
Bro,
dwarfs...
what fucking Disco Inferno was saying. Disco Inferno was fucking talking about, oh my god, kill him. I hope there's bloodshed. He was wanting death.
Mark Madden is the one that said little people don't deserve to live, Austin. I think that's worse than what Disco Inferno said.
I know.
Mark Madden was the one sitting there talking about, aren't these Oompa Loompas from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? And fucking saying that they can fit inside of Teletubbies outfits and shit. Like, you could, and fucking, they're sitting there, both these fucking fuckers are sitting there talking shit about, it's not like all the other matches where the commentary was just commentary. No, this specific match, for some reason, they put the commentary across the whole arena so these fucking dwarfs can hear these fucking people wishing death upon them in the commentary booth while they're having this fucking match. They're sitting here wrestling, and they can hear Disco Inferno saying, "Yeah, kill yourself. And they're sitting here trying to hit suplexes on each other, and they're just to hear Mark Madden say, "Oh, little people, they don't deserve to live." And shit. And then fucking Mark Madden was saying shit about, like, "Oh, they're human beings, I think." And shit. Like, bro.
What was it that Mark Madden said where he was like, "Oh, if they need to be cremated, I have a what? Something."
He said, "Don't worry, if they need to be cremated, I have a Bic lighter," is what he said. And Bic lighters are those, like, little tiny plastic lighters you can get at fucking gas stations and shit. Like, just, like, everything they were saying. Like, there was one spot where Teo got on the fucking top rope and did a splash, and fucking they're like, oh, he jumped from a whopping like 6 foot high, and that's like 30 feet for those people, is what not Matt, fucking Mark Madden said. Like, it was so fucked, and. And fucking Mark Madden was like saying, "Oh, why don't you just put them?" Because they had a garbage can, and I think it was T.O. had the garbage can, and he was like, "Oh, why don't you just put him in the garbage can like the trash he is, like the scum of the earth that you people are," is what fucking Mark Madden said. Like, bro, he was saying so much fuck shit about dwarves.
Yeah, it was bad. It was fucking bad.
Like, bro, it was actually fucked. And they just kept carrying on with it too.
The thing is, after the match, it did get worse. You think that's bad? It got so much worse.
So, fucking, if I remember correctly, I believe Puppet the Psycho Dwarf ended up winning the match, right?
Yes.
So, fucking at this point, Puppet wins. By the way, there's a spot where they put fucking thumbtacks on the stage, and then Puppet did like this TKO on the TO on the thumbtacks, and that's how he won. And fucking, so he wins, right? And these two midgets are laying there, fucking beat the shit out of each other, almost killed themselves for this fucking dumb shit, right? And it's at this moment, that's just the most inopportune time. While these midgets are trying to recover, they're hurt, they look like they're dead. It's at this point in time where Scott Steiner's theme song hits.
Hey,
Because
it's a scary
why
thought,
not?
man.
And so all the women come out, and then Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner, makes his WWA debut, and he's flexing and has the pyro, and he walks to the ring, right? He doesn't get in the ring just yet. He goes to get in the ring, and Scott Steiner lays his eyes on Puppet and Tio, and he started throwing them violently across the ringside.
Violently, like, yeah.
Then he put both of them in the ring, and then threw them violently in the ring. It was beating the shit out of these dwarves for no reason.
Know what the fuck to say.
For no reason. And then to make it worse, after he fucking beats the shit out of these dwarves, he gets a microphone. And you want to tell them Scott Steiner's promo?
I was terrified, let me just say. Fucking... So... Scott Steiner with promos, there's a history of promos. If he ever starts off a promo saying, you know, or if he sits there and he's doing a promo and he puts his foot on the bottom rope, duck and run for cover. Like, hide. Fucking hide. Because Scott Steiner is not going to stop fucking talking. And he's going to fucking start shooting.
Yep.
So, I was terrified because Scott Steiner's promo started, well, you know, and I was like, fuck, no, oh no. But he's talking about pink ponies. I think he was meaning that as like a fucking, I think he was talking about a pussy when he said that. I don't know.
He was talking about how he was being the big bad booty daddy to Mrs. May last night in his bungalow, is what he said.
And he said, I rode the pink pony. And I was like, what the fuck, bro? And then he starts talking about how he's not scheduled for a match, but he's still gonna whoop somebody's ass. And at that point, I thought, okay, this promo's still gonna go, and he's gonna start shooting. But then he drops the mic, and I was like, oh my god. But it's not over yet. No. Because fucking Disco Inferno's like, oh, well, Mark Madden wants a fight. And at this point, I'm like, yes, Mark Madden definitely wants a fight. Please, throw him around the ring. But of course, no, Scott Steiner didn't see it that way. And he took Disco Inferno, the only sense of sanity on this commentary booth, and he fucking destroyed him.
Yeah.
And then Scott just left. That was it, bro. Like,
Yep. He beat the shit out of him, and then he just fucking left.
yeah.
Scott Steiner's whole motto on this show was arrive with sexy women, beat the fuck out of midgets, talk about how he had sex with said women, beat the fuck out of Disco Inferno, and leave with said women. That was his whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So at this point, they start talking about, oh, next we're gonna have a tag team match, right? And these two people come out. I only have one of them in the thumbnail because I could not find a picture of the other one. I forget their team name, but one was called the Navajo Warrior, and the other one was called Ghost Walker, I think. And basically their whole gimmick was that they were Indians. And
Yeah.
so they come out. Never heard of them before, by the way. And so we're like, oh, who's gonna fucking face these guys? And well, wouldn't you know, a blast from our WCW past. Chronic fucking makes their WWA debut. Brian Adams and Brian Clark, baby. And fucking,
Pain.
from what Austin said, this was like not long after their stint in WWF where the Brothers of Destruction shot on them. So
No, they got released in that, like, the following January.
Yeah.
Like, this is like a month after.
Yeah. So they fucking show up here at World Wrestling All-Stars, and so we thought this was going to be a jobber match, but for some reason it wasn't. It was not a squash match. This went on way longer than it should have. Most of the match was Chronic fucking dominating these two guys, but once again, it's hard to, when you have matches, right? It's hard to pay attention. Usually in matches, you have commentary that adds to the match, right? But here, it's hard to pay attention to Chronic kicking these two dudes' ass when the whole time Mark Madden is just doing nothing but saying extremely racist shit about Indian people. So it's hard to fucking focus on the match when he's fucking saying this shit. I just don't understand. Like, he's even more unfiltered than Jerry Lawler. I thought Jerry Lawler was unfiltered on the first paper, but my god, Mark Madden has some real fucking problems, dude.
You don't say, man. You don't say.
What was the one fucking thing that he said? I'm trying to remember. Fucking. Oh,
he said that these. I'm trying to get myself ready to say this. He said that the Native Americans as a society, don't last long because they're a disease.
Yes. And he also said that being a Native American was a temporary thing. Apparently, that's what he thinks. Which makes no fucking sense.
He also called them the Youngbloods, which is
Yes.
extremely racist.
Like, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with Mark Madden, dude. Like, it was 2 matches back to back of him just saying fuck shit. And
then he ended the match by saying the most cringy thing I've ever heard Mark Madden say in my life. He simulated smoking a joint and he said, "Oh, yeah, baby." And I was just like, bro, like...
Didn't he say he was hitting that chronic? Is that what he said?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Oh my god, yeah, because they won with
And
their patented double choke slam is how they won.
I want to hit my head with a fucking bullet to my skull after hearing that, you know?
Oh my god. Now, you might be wondering, Mark Madden is so fucked. What about Jeremy Borash? Oh, he wasn't innocent either. Because Jeremy Borash was saying some shit. Not as bad as Mark Madden, but Jeremy Borash was still saying dumb shit too. But, fucking... So after that, I think is when we got one of the fucking starettes dancing segments, or as Austin called them, the planking segments, because they had no fucking ass.
They have no ass, they have no tits, they have nothing, bro.
And from what Austin said, he said he was pretty sure that the starettes on this were like the same women that showed up with Scott Steiner, so they just reused them.
And they downgraded because they had like 6 fucking last show, and now they only have 3.
I'm guessing maybe it's because Jerry Lawler was there before, so maybe he demanded more women. I don't know.
I don't know, bro.
But yeah, fucking. If you're wondering, was there any backstage interviews with Stevie Ray? No, because Stevie Ray wasn't here. So, and I don't know if he's ever going to be here again. So, they don't have a backstage interviewer anymore, just so you know.
No. There was barely any backstage segments on this show.
Well, up next, we got another match, which was pretty fucking boring. It was a triple threat for the WWA Cruiserweight Championship. It was Psychosis defending against Juventud Guerrera and the debuting Latino Heat Eddie Guerrero. Now, you might be wondering, wasn't Juventud Guerrera the champion on the last pay-per-view? Yes. Now, did they explain why Psychosis is the champion on this pay-per-view? No.
No. Why would they do that? That would make logic. That would be logical to do.
My only guess as to what happened is they said between pay-per-views that they have toured with house shows, so I'm going to assume at some point on one of these house shows, Juventud lost it to Psychosis, and they just didn't bother to explain that. I mean, to be honest, I don't even know if Jeremy Borash even pays half attention to anything, because there was just so much on the show where he said, I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what's happening next. Like, fucking, so, and he acted like he barely knew anything about fucking anything. So, I realistically, 1, I don't know why this guy's booking this fucking company. 2, I don't know why he's the main commentator if he doesn't fucking know anything. And 3, I don't know why Vince Russo, of all people, recommended him. And 4, I don't know why they would take a recommendation from Vince fucking Russo, of all people, on who he thinks would be a good booker for their company.
Because they're stupid.
Do you think Vince Russo also recommended Mark Madden? Do you think that's why he was there?
I fucking hope not.
Because I don't see any other reason unless fucking Jeremy Borash was like, oh, I knew this guy from WCW. He was one of the best commentators, and they probably thought he was talking about Tony Schiavone, and then it was fucking Mark Madden.
Man.
But to make things even worse, not only do they not explain why Psychosis has the title, Juventud is no longer the Juice. He doesn't do the Juice gimmick anymore. I don't know what happened to that. He lost his Britney Spears theme song. It's just a generic rock theme now. I don't know why the fuck they can't keep people's theme songs consistent. But, yeah, not only that, but, you might be wondering, oh, well, was it good because it was Eddie Guerrero? And the answer to that is not really, because this was during the period of time where Eddie had left WWF and was falling back into drugs and shit and his addictions, and so this was kind of drugged out Eddie Guerrero.
Yep.
So, and just to let you know, Eddie Guerrero won this match to become the new Cruiserweight champion, and this is Eddie Guerrero's only appearance for this company, because after this, he didn't appear anymore, so they had to vacate the Cruiserweight title. And I believe they ended up giving it to Jerry Lynn, I think, because they tried to build a program with Eddie Guerrero and Jerry Lynn, which we'll get to in a minute. But I want to talk about this match. This match was boring. Fucking goddamn Juventud Guerrera was calling spots. By the way, fucking when fucking Juventud was coming out, they botched his fucking name. They called him Juventud Guerrero because they had fucking, so on the last pay-per-view they had Jeremy Borash doing the ring announcing. On this they had some random guy that looked like Kumar from Harold and Kumar. I don't know who this fucking guy was, but he was terrible at announcing. He kept botching shit. He wasn't the only one botching shit though. Everybody was botching shit on this show. But so yeah, this match was fucking boring. It just went on for so long. It seemed like it started just dragging and dragging and dragging, and fucking Mark Madden just kept being like, oh, Hoovy, Hoovy, Hoovy. He kept just saying Hoovy over and over again. And this was the match where Jeremy Borash and Mark Madden started running their fucking mouth about the cruiserweights. And fucking Jeremy Borash was like, oh, we actually here in World Wrestling All Stars, we know how to use our cruiserweights, unlike other wrestling companies who either they don't book their cruiserweights or they don't know how to use them. And then Mark Madden's like, yeah, we actually use our cruiserweight division. We know how to book a cruiserweight division. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, they were talking to hella shit. And
yeah,
they also kept talking about, oh, Eddie Guerrero is is the greatest mat wrestler in the world, and Eddie Guerrero this, Eddie Guerrero that. And you could obviously fucking tell that they were fucking trying to gas this up as much as they possibly fucking could, because of the fact that they had thought Eddie Guerrero was going to stick around in their company and be like their next biggest star. And
yeah, it was so bad, bro. It was so bad. And this is when it started getting boring too.
Yeah. And so fucking, oh my god. So Eddie Guerrero wins this fucking match, and he wins the Cruiserweight title. And we noticed at this point the cruiserweight title looked a little bit different than we remembered it last time, and we'll talk more on that later. But so Eddie Guerrero, is at this point I had to take a bathroom break. So you want to talk about Eddie Guerrero's promo?
Yeah, so basically, the promo was him fucking talking about, oh, it's all online about how I've had my personal struggles. So he's just talking about fucking drugs and fucking all this shit. And then goddamn he sits there and all we hear is, oh wait, hang on. And it's Mr. Judgment Day himself. Oh god, that hurts my voice every time I fucking do that, bro. And fucking he's sitting there and he's fucking coming out here and he's like, oh, I don't want to hear about your mental struggles, biatch. He starts fucking, they start fucking brawling for no goddamn reason.
Yep.
And fucking, it was just so fucking stupid. And Jerry Lynn takes out fucking goddamn Eddie Guerrero and he's like, I'm coming for that title. And then he leaves, and that was it. It was so fucking idiotic, bro.
Yeah. And it's even more idiotic when you think about it in retrospect because fucking Eddie Guerrero left WWA after this. He debuted, won the title, left, and then they had to take the fucking title off of him and vacate it. And then I'm pretty sure they gave it to Jerry Lynn, I think. And I could be wrong. It's either they gave it to Jerry Lynn or, because I know on the next show they do Jerry Lynn versus AJ Styles for the Cruiserweight title, I'm pretty sure. So either they gave it to Jerry Lynn or it was a match for the vacant title. I forget which. But so yeah, that was Eddie Guerrero's WWA run. So what a career. And they also Jerry Lynn also name dropped. He said, "Oh, you had a long career in New Japan and ECW and WCW and WWF, and you got everything that all the opportunities because of your Guerrero name." And then fucking Eddie Guerrero just fucking bitch slapped him like he's a fucking bitch. Like, oh my god. But fucking that was the goddamn triple threat match for the Cruiserweight title. It was fucking boring. So
It just gets more boring on this show, don't worry.
yeah. Because was the no DQ match up next a really fucking long one?
Yes.
So we get this no DQ match. This was the match announced at the beginning of the show. It was Devon Storm, aka Crowbar, taking on the debut of the suicidal, genocidal, homicidal, depth-defying, extreme fucking Sabu, because why not?
The coke addict.
From what Austin said, this is around the time when he was coked out, so nice to know they were signing people that were coked out and all this shit and drugged out and shit. So but yeah, so this match, by the way, Sabu had fucking Bill Alfonso with him for some reason, and he was being really fucking annoying because he kept blowing his whistle the whole match. And this match lasted like, it felt like 40 minutes. I don't know if it was 40 minutes. It was fucking at least like 20. It was at least 20.
It felt like two fucking hours, bro.
Yeah. This match was the longest match on the fucking show for sure. It was so long, and it was so goddamn boring.
And
And
I have another bone to pick with Jeremy Borash,
oh no,
if I'm being completely honest. No, because I'm upset. I'm upset. I think me and you definitely enjoy Crazy Crowbar. All right? Like, his crazy antics, stuff with David Flair. Gold. Right? Whatever the fuck this is, Jeremy, this serious, more tone deaf, oh, I'm gonna wear tights now, Crowbar, go fuck yourself. Dude.
it's not Crowbar.
This isn't the
It's
Crowbar.
Devon Storm.
I don't care.
Well, Jeremy Borash had to make that clear. It's a new and improved Devon Storm, and that he's not.
Well, Jeremy Borash is a
anymore.
fucking new and improved fucking pussy. How about that? But yeah, fuck whatever fucking Jeremy Borash is trying to do here.
I
miss
know.
Crazy Crowbar. But yeah, this match was fucking boring. It was fucking long. Didn't need to be fucking this super. Oh my god, it pissed me off. It was actually pissing me off, dude. There was no reason, absolutely no reason. The spots were terrible. They were botching. This fucking match felt like an eternity, dude.
Yeah. It was
Every
so
time we
goddamn
thought it was
long.
over, it wasn't.
Not to mention they were botching so bad. There was a really bad botch where Crowbar went to do like a sunset flip powerbomb on the apron to a table on the outside, and his feet hit the table and the back of Sabu's head hit the table, I think, but the table didn't break. And there was like a couple times where they had to they botched and they had to awkwardly like redo the fucking spots every single time. It was so bad. And like this match just kept going and going and going, and Sabu was like bleeding really fucking bad, and Mark Madden was saying that they need to call the local blood bank and tell them that Sabu's gonna donate all this blood that he's bleeding and shit. And Mark Madden was talking about how he was gonna throw up because of all the blood and shit. And fucking it got to a point where even the crowd was like fed up with this fucking match because it just kept going and going and going to where there is a spot on the outside where Crowbar was up against the table and fucking goddamn Sabu set up the chair and did a dive to the outside, and Crowbar moved and Sabu smashed through the fucking table, and I shit you not, there was one singular person in the crowd that was going, holy shit, holy shit. One person. Only one person.
It's the first time I've ever seen that, you know?
Yeah. And they kept doing finishers on each other and just kept kicking out for some fucking reason. And then the way it ended was so fucking lame because fucking Bill Alfonso went to hit Crowbar and he accidentally hit Sabu with the chair, and then Crowbar got a roll-up pin on Sabu and won, and that was the match. And then fucking Crowbar could like barely stand up and he was crawling up the stage, and then Bill Alfonso gets in the ring with the chair and he's like, oh, this isn't over, go hit him with the chair, as if we didn't see fucking like 30 goddamn minutes of this. They felt it was necessary to see another like 5 minutes of this, so Sabu just starts beating the shit out of Crowbar with the chair, and fucking then Bill Alfonso sets up a table and they put fucking excuse me, Crowbar on the table, and then Sabu sits there and climbs up on the Titantron and jumps off and does a fucking leg drop through the fucking table through Crowbar. and they're both fucking laid out, and then fucking the announcer or the commentators are trying to talk about what's gonna happen next, and then I shit you not, they're like, oh, it's not over yet, it's not over yet, and they're still fighting on the fucking stage, and Austin was getting so fucking pissed off because they just kept fighting.
I just wanted it to fucking end, dude. And when it finally ended, it was just so much peace. And then they put Mark Madden back on my screen, and I was so angry at that point.
Yeah. So after that, fucking, we got this backstage segment with Lenny and Lodi, if you remember from the last pay-per-view. And fucking Lodi is looking at Lenny's ass, and he's trying to take something off of the back of Lenny's trunks, and he can't get it, so he's like, oh, let me try this, and he like bites it off with his teeth, and it looks really fucking sus, and then it just abruptly goes back to the commentators, and we were like, what the fuck was the point of that?
Little
And
do we know that's just Devon and Doug Walker behind closed doors.
it is fucking, at least it's better than fucking Austin and Mark Madden do their fucking goddamn hippo fucking mud love.
Nah, bro. Nah.
Fucking, so
Fucking Mark Madden's an elephant, not a hippo.
So fucking, next thing we know, Lenny and Lodi are coming out, and Jeremy Borash is like, oh, speaking of Lenny and Lodi, here they come. And their music plays for a solid 2 minutes, and they don't come out. And then they take their Titantron off, and they stop playing the music. And then I shit you not, Jeremy Borash is like, oh, well, I guess not. And he sounded like he didn't know what the fuck he was supposed to say. I don't know what happened. And then all of a sudden, like a minute later of just confusion, all of a sudden Lenny and Lodi finally come out, and Jeremy Borash is like, oh, there they are. And fucking they fucking walk to the ring, and Mark Madden's like, oh, it's so cute that they have matching ring gear and all this shit. And so they say, oh, we have no idea who their opponents are going to be. So Lenny and Lodi are waiting to see who their opponents are. And their first opponent is the brother of Scott Steiner, Mr. Rick Steiner. He comes out, and they're like, oh, is Rick Steiner going to face him by himself? No. Lo and behold, another callback to our WCW past. Here comes Ernest the Cat Miller, baby. And he fucking comes out, and Mark Madden automatically gets fucking scared, and he's like, oh, I know Ernest is gonna call me fat and shit. And fucking then Ernest the Cat Miller starts cutting a promo saying like, oh, I'm gonna make a bet right now. If you somehow beat us, I'll get on my knees and kiss your guys' ass or whatever. And fucking then he said, if we win, you guys are gonna go kiss Mark Madden's fat ass. And fucking goddamn Mark Madden like started acting like he was gonna cry, and he was like, see, Jeremy, I told you he was gonna call me fat and shit. And
Good.
fucking, so here's the entirety of this match. It started with Rick Steiner and Lenny, and Rick Steiner did like 3 moves, tagged in Ernest the Cat Miller. Ernest the Cat Miller did 1 kick to the face, 1, 2, 3. Rick Steiner and Ernest the Cat Miller win. And so I'm gonna let you talk about this part because you were extremely hyped for this.
Ernest the Cat Miller was living my fucking dream, bro. So, what happened was, after they won, Ernest the Cat Miller celebrates by whooping that fat elephant's ass. It was so satisfying. He was choking him. He was kicking him. He fell on Jeremy Borash. It was the best. It was the best thing of the night.
Yeah. Fucking. Oh my god. It looks so ridiculous too. Fucking. It was so dumb. Like, it was so dumb that fucking. Like, the way they were laying there. Because fucking Mark Madden was so fucking fat that he just, like, weighed down Jeremy Borash so he couldn't even get fucking back up. And fucking. Oh, also, one thing real quick I forgot to mention is Slick Johnson refereed so many of these matches, and in the Sabu and Devon Storm match, there was one part where they started getting in arguments with each. Oh wait, no, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. Never mind. That I was thinking of the main event. Never mind. I'll get to that later. But we've seen Slick Johnson so many times is the fucking point I was trying to make. But anyway, so after Mark Madden gets his ass whooped by Ernest the Cat Miller, and fucking Rick Steiner spits on him as well, fucking they leave, and Mark Madden and Jeremy Borash get back up, and Jeremy Borash is like, he's like, "Are you okay, Mark Madden?" And Mark Madden's like, "No, I'm obviously really hurt right now." And he's like acting like a fucking 5-year-old, and fucking motherfucker pulls out a brush and starts brushing his hair because his hair is like a lot longer now than it was in WCW, and he puts his fucking headset back on, and sits there and like pouts like a little kid. And so
Fucking fat ass, dude.
yeah. So at this point all that was left was the main event of Jeff Jarrett defending the WWA World Championship against Brian Christopher, or Grandmaster Sexay, or Jerry Lawler's son, or as they called him here, the Grand Master, Brian Christopher, because why not? And he comes out.
This match is.
Oh, go ahead.
This match is known for 3 things on this show. He comes out to his WWE theme, which I don't even know how that's even legal. Because Scotty was using it at the same time in the WWE. So I'm so confused on that. Then he cuts a promo. And do you want to tell him or tell them what this promo was? Because it was cursed as fuck.
So, well, firstly, we got to talk about something else first, because he cuts this promo on Jeff Jarrett, but beforehand we see Jeff Jarrett come out, and we notice that the world title's looking a little bit different there, Austin. And it turns out, if you wanna say what you discovered.
So we mentioned how we found some particular little issues with the Cruiserweight title, and how it looked eerily similar to the World Heavyweight Championship. And I was kind of trying to connect the dots here, and then when I saw the World Heavyweight Championship, and I saw that it said Cruiserweight Championship on the belt, it rung a bell, because for some reason, even though on the world title it says Cruiserweight Championship, and on the Cruiserweight Championship it says World Championship, apparently they decided it'd be a great idea to switch those titles.
Yep.
Just why not? Why not?
Yep. So, fucking, after that, Brian Christopher starts. Brian Christopher is a specimen, first of all. And he gets the microphone, and he starts kind of promo on Jeff Jarrett, and he starts doing like this cringy dancing, and he starts barking and shit, and fucking, Oh god, I'm trying to remember what he said in this fucking promo. He was saying some cursed ass shit.
He was talking about the shizness and the business, all this shit, dude.
He was talking about how he came here to do two things, and he said one of them is to dance, and he said he's gonna do that after he does the second thing, which is to kick Jeff Jarrett's ass and win the world title. And he said, "So get in here." And Jeff Jarrett gets in the ring, and they start having this match, and fucking Mark Madden starts talking about how, oh, Brian Christopher is the son of the King Jerry Lawler, and Jeff Jarrett is the son of Jerry Jarrett. And Mark Madden starts going on about this long history, fucking rivalry between the Jarretts and the Lawlers and all this shit. And he was like, and now we're seeing the next incarnation of this long family rivalry with the two sons facing each other, trying to, like, he was trying to, like, give this match a reason to be happening. Like, they were trying everything they could to justify why Brian fucking Christopher was getting a world title match. They had Bret Hart sit here and say, oh, Brian Christopher has paid his dues. Fucking Jeremy Borash sat there and said, oh, well, Brian Christopher has been getting a lot of wins on house shows, and he pinned Jeff Jarrett twice in tag team matches. And then Mark Madden gave the reasoning of, oh, well, the Jarretts and the Lawlers have a history, rivalry. Like, they were making up every fucking excuse in the book as to why Brian Christopher was getting a world title shot and why he deserved a world title shot. Like, these motherfuckers, you know damn well if Randy Savage would have actually showed up, it would have been Randy Savage versus Jeff Jarrett. You know damn well that's probably what they fucking advertised for this show, and that's why people fucking walked out when they found out it was going to be Brian Christopher. And then these motherfuckers, all three of them, Bret Hart, you know, I don't even blame Bret Hart, because I think they probably just fucking told Bret Hart to fucking try to justify it, and fucking Jeremy Borash is probably the one that fucking told him, and fucking, Mark Madden probably just said it on his fucking own volition, because fucking Mark Madden fucking is the type of guy to fucking do whatever fucking people tell him to, and he fucking dick rides people. So fucking, but these motherfuckers were trying to make you believe that Brian Christopher really deserved the title shot, like. But nevertheless, this match went on, and fucking Brian Christopher was doing all these dancing moves and shit. And there was this one cursed ass spot, you'll see the clip of it in the beginning of this, where Jeff Jarrett is on the outside and Brian Christopher is on the inside, and he starts doing all his too cool dancing, right? And while he's doing the dancing, all of a sudden, Brian Christopher's pants fall down, revealing his fucking tighty whities that he's wearing. And fucking, he has to hurry up and pull his pants up. So I don't think that was planned. And fucking Mark Madden was like, oh, pull your pants up. Pull your pants up. Like, he was fucking disgusted. And fucking, it was so goddamn cursed. And this main event fucking started feeling like it was dragging on as well, because they were really trying to make you think that Brian Christopher was actually going to win the world title. And fucking, then it got to a point where they started doing this dumb shit with fucking the two referees, where fucking the one referee got laid out, so Slick Johnson came out to do the count for goddamn Jeff Jarrett. And fucking I'm trying to yeah, so fucking he tries to do the count for Jeff Jarrett, and then the other referee pulls Slick Johnson out of the ring, and that referee gets in the ring and tries to do the count for fucking Brian Christopher. and fucking then Slick Johnson pulls that referee out of the ring, and they start arguing, and then fucking I know at some point Jeff Jarrett fucking blasted Brian Christopher with the guitar and shit, and then the two referees get in the ring and they start fucking arguing and bickering back and forth, and they start fucking shoving each other, and then it gets to the point where fucking Slick Johnson tackles the other referee and starts whooping his fucking ass and starts punching this fucking referee in the fucking face. And then fucking while he's fucking beating up the other referee, Jeff Jarrett, basically Brian Christopher tries to hit Jeff Jarrett with the title. Jeff Jarrett ducks it and then hits Brian Christopher with the stroke on the championship, makes the cover, and Slick Johnson counts it 1, 2, 3, and fucking Jeff Jarrett retains the WWA championship over Brian Christopher. And Jeff Jarrett just walks out like he couldn't even be bothered. And fucking the way these pay-per-views end is so fucking weird. Like, they just end so abruptly. Like, as soon as the match was over, it's not even like the last time where they're like, oh, thanks for watching or whatever, and then show like the highlights or whatever, right? This one, as soon as Jeff Jarrett won, they just start playing fucking highlights of what happened earlier and like showing WWA graphics, and then they have Jeremy Borash talking over top of it. I don't know if like something was going on and they had to overlay this shit. I don't know what the fuck it was going on, but fucking Jeremy Borash was like, oh, this is an incredible main event between Jeff Jarrett and fucking Brian Christopher, and Jeff Jarrett is still the WWA World Champion, and where's it gonna go from here? And next time we're going back to Australia. We're going to Melbourne, Australia for our next pay-per-view, which is going to be fucking WWA Eruption. And thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. And then it just fucking abruptly just ends. And that was WWA The Revolution. Jesus fucking Christ, that was bad. Like, as sad as it is to say, at least the first pay-per-view was so bad. Like, what was going on was so bad that it was entertaining. This was so bad that at one point it was just so bad it felt like it started dragging. This is the longest WWA pay-per-view, by the way. And it just felt like this was going on forever, and it was so bad. And it made even less sense than the first pay-per-view, and half the fucking people that were on the first pay-per-view were completely fucking gone, because there was no Road Dogg, there was no fucking Nathan Jones, there was no fucking goddamn, no fucking Stevie Ray. Like, half these fucking people were completely fucking gone. And I don't know if they're coming back at this point. Because
I don't fucking know.
The reason I say that is because I know at some point, whether it's on Eruption or one of the last two pay-per-views, I know it gets to the point where so many people start leaving this fucking company because they started going to WWE or fucking TNA when it was starting up, that it got to a point where they had almost like no fucking stars left. So we're probably not going to see a lot of these people ever again. So I don't know if we're even going to see Mark Madden again, because I don't know. I
fucking hope not.
But you love Mark Madden.
I hope Mark Madden dies in a fucking horrible, deadly, fatal fucking car crash.
I know at some point fucking Disco Inferno is on commentary again, because from when I was watching Marky D's video, he said that fucking Disco Inferno was on commentary, and it apparently gets to the point where Disco Inferno looks like he's just so fed up with being in this company that he just starts like shitting on the company and shit. I can't wait to see that. But yeah, so That was the Revolution. What did you think of it overall, Austin? Was it
Fucking
revolutionary?
terrible. Fucking atrocity.
Fucking. It was fucking dog shit, in my opinion. It was fucking dog shit. This was the longest pay-per-view. Thank God all the pay-per-views after this are so much shorter. Thank God. But fucking, yeah, that was WWA The Revolution. The next pay-per-view was WWA The Eruption from April 13th, 2002. So 2 months after this pay-per-view. And you'll notice after Eruption, there is at least a fucking 8-month break between pay-per-views. So, and then between the 4th pay-per-view and the last one, that's, let's see, that's almost another 5-month break between pay-per-views. So it starts getting pretty fucking bad. But nevertheless, next time we will be getting to the Eruption, and we'll be going back to fucking Australia. I know at some point on one of these pay-per-views they go to New Zealand, but next time we are going back to Australia for the Eruption, and the fucking, I know the stage is gonna be fucking volcano themed. It looks fucking terrible. I can't wait for you to see it. But yeah, so that was the Eruption, and up next we are going to be covering the Eruption, so stay tuned for that.